Ready or not, here we come, getting down on the one which we believe in. Can I get it on my
Of like DJ trends in the dance scene now, and like what people are playing and how is that affecting the dance? Do you feel like we're still in an age of experimentation with the music that's being played for popping in these contest forms, or
Oh,
yeah,
I don't,
yeah,
because there's a mindset that goes along with this. Um, so I've been a DJ for a long time too. So the thing where I come from, I always wanted to hear the new beat. What's the newest, craziest, next
mm,
thing? Like, oh my God, what is this?
mm,
Nowadays, if you play a song that is completely unknown, that nobody could sing along with,
ah,
everybody goes and they look at the DJ
uh-huh,
and they walk off the dance
mm,
floor. It's like, that's not my song.
right, right,
What song is that?
right,
And then if it's a remix or something, and then they hear the vocal come into the song, they know they're like, oh, okay,
yeah,
oh, okay, I'll get with all right, I'll give you this one.
yeah,
They don't let the DJs do that unless it's a part of the thematic part of his set. If they know him to be some next shit DJ, then they allow it. But otherwise, you play 4 or 5 songs that nobody recognizes, you'll hear crickets on the dance floor.
yeah,
It's like, no, I don't know what he's doing.
yeah,
He's not in touch with us. That's the mindset.
right,
You, so I'm used to mindset when somebody, well, a whole crowd of people would want to hear the next new crazy thing,
right,
and they did it.
yeah,
That's a completely different mindset.
yeah,
So we've been conditioned into thinking this. So I'll go like this. I'll put this parallel together. If you think like this, all of our favorite dancers probably probably look the least like other dancers. The people that are the most unusual are the people that we're attracted to.
yeah,
For like, this guy does this. They all have
right,
their certain niche.
yeah,
Okay, now music-wise, once upon a time, this was the case. To make a hit, it'd have to have its own sonic identity.
mm,
Like, what's the thing that makes this thing sound more than the other thing? So you think of like Stevie Wonder songs, you think of Earth, Wind, and Fire song. The top end is so high, it's so high, it's so AM radio friendly, the high frequencies, that the top end was so special that it would pull you to it. Like, you play this next to a song that wasn't mixed very well, and it would sound like, the horns of the gods.
right,
Like, you know, and you hear the same thing with Stevie songs. There's so many layers. It's so uh, you hear the quality and the intention and attention put to small, minute things that you zoom in with your ears, and these songs become the sonic landscape of your glory days.
right,
And with you. So I too have these songs connected to my glory days, and when
yeah,
I listen to the songs today, somewhere around, I guess it's been happening all the time, but I really started to notice it uh, in the late 90s and from the 2000s on. It's when a song is supposed to sound like another song. For instance, somebody makes a hit, and then everything sounds like that hit for a second, and even the person that made that hit that was unusual, that broke all the molds prior to that, they're told and expected to make something kind of make the last one so we can play this song after, like,
mm,
you know what I mean?
mm,
And the same thing goes today. You have a sound, and it's played on a radio station that plays music of that sort. So you tune into a station and you get a lot of that stuff.
right,
even the radio stations were playing. You'd hear David Bowie
Right.
Next to George Clinton,
Yeah.
next to James Brown, next to Kraftwerk, next to Blondie. That would be the same radio station playing different music genres. Oh,
Yeah.
don't forget, hip hop comes in there. Then they're thrown in a rapper's delight.
Right.
You could have Seals and Croft or Hall and Oates, and then the Sugar Hill Gang.
Mm.
So the people's ears, they're listening for new things.
Right.
And the way it was, there was just enough of each one of these genres, just enough space, not too far apart, that people would wait through the things that they didn't like.
Okay.
For the things they did like,
Right.
on. And because it popped out from other different music genres, it highlighted even more because the contrast was greater.
Yeah.
So take this from people trying to have like specialist stations that play this niche.
Yeah.
They hammer this niche to the ground, and you're like, you listen to the same formulas, the same thing. It's just hammered,
Right.
into your head, and until you change the station. Like, damn, I have to go to oldies. I have to go to jazz. I have to. You get fed,
Yeah.
And I don't remember ever being so fed up with anything. But it's like I'm a musician myself,
Yeah.
and I make certain kind of real quirky, funky, nichey music.
Yeah.
I don't. The songs that I make too long. I'm like, that's enough of me. I need to hear something else. Like, and that's the same way I feel about like most of the music. The rappers' voices sound like the other rappers' voice. The sound picture, it's a great art to be able to copy somebody else's sound picture. But I'll go one further. It's like when people are using the same presets with the same machines and the same formula on the same programs, with the same plugins, with the same, and you sculpture something that's sonically the same. It's the same.
Yeah.
And it's for me, it's the death of a genre.
Yeah.
It's exactly what happened with disco. They hammered it to the ground until people had a backlash against it.
Right.
And it was like, the disco sucks movement. Now disco doesn't call itself disco anymore. Now it calls itself house now. But it's disco, you know what I mean? It's interesting how, too much of a good thing will give you a cavity. You'll have an adverse effect. So I
was gonna also ask you about being a producer yourself. How has that affected your dancing?
It's the same thing kind of for me. Like producing is very close to dancing and vice versa, because a lot of the ways, it's like, okay, let's say there's a song that I love. As a producer, I analyze what is it that's making this song pick. What is the thing?
Yeah.
Something is affecting me, but what is the thing? And I try to break everything down component by component, and like, is that alone? Sometimes, more oftentimes not. More oftentimes it's the sum of a few parts.
Okay.
And the relationships that they have together.
Yeah.
I learned this first from dancing.
Yeah.
When you combine coordinations.
Yeah.
And you track people's eyes by, you can do 3 separate things. Each one of these things could be simple in itself, but the sum of its parts makes something, that is very attractive for our eye to try to work out, or our minds to see.
Yeah.
Because I think we want to understand patterns.
Yeah.
So pattern recognition is like a big part of it. And then along with pattern recognition is chaos. So things that get close to chaotic and then come back into the pattern makes you go into outer space for a second, and just when you can't take it, whoop, then you're back again. The song is back. Very much like jazz themes. You know what I mean? They play, they introduce a theme. People take solos, flipping the theme up and down, and just when it goes out, like, whoa, whoa, and then they go back to the theme, and everybody claps, yay, it's back to Mary Had a Lamb. Oh my gosh, they flipped Mary Had a Little Lamb. You know what I mean? So there's that thing that is also the same in dancing.
Yeah.
So one of the things when you're dancing, you have to show that you have thought something out.
Right.
So you have to gain people's trust. So first you give them a bed to show them, okay, listen, I can pop on time if I want to. See, this is what it looks like when I'm popping on time. Okay, I do hear the music if I want to. This is, see, I'll be the bass line, I'll be the drums. Okay, so I can do that if I want to. And after you gain the people's trust, then you can flip it. And people don't understand what's happening for a second. They go, whoa. If you're lucky, if you have longevity, people will, in trying to figure out what that thing was, they'll stick with you. And they're like, oh, what he's doing is he's not doing the thing that's expected to him. He's doing the opposite. So you take people like great improvisers, like Pete or Skeet, who have things that they do very specifically, and then when it's time for them to do it, it's like, oh, he's going to do that, and then they go left and do something different, and it's like, oh my gosh, he was supposed, and he did not. It create, you know. So this also exists in music, and something that we're attracted to. But you do that too often, and then it's like, oh, but this person is crazy.
Right.
So you come back, you know, to just be responsible enough, you know. And if you're dancing by yourself and you're doing something that people don't recognize, people will automatically assume you're wrong. Oops.
Right.
You saw what thing there?
Right.
And it. That thing right there, that's not what they normally don't do this. This is, I think you made a mistake there.
Right.
Yeah. People make this same mistake in exactly the same place. And then the person watching it goes, oh, wait a minute. Okay, it was weird, but they both did it at exactly the same time. So they've organized this mistake. Oh, wait, it's not a mistake. Wait a minute, it's me that has to learn. This thing is quite a process.
Yeah.
And I've been face to face with this thing. People have thought that I'm crazy, like doing different for a long time.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, if somebody asks me, I will explain it.
Yeah.
Try to do enough things where people see that I could do this if I want to, but other thing that I'm doing is something that interests me, and I hope you catch it, but if you don't, what can I do? You know what I mean? You look at people that are the people that we love, the people that are the most unlike other people, these, you know, we have a list of names that we go, these people, like, when I first saw Taco, I didn't see a lot of people dancing like Taco.
Yeah.
When I saw the EBs, I didn't see a lot of people dancing like that. I was like, ooh, that's different. When I saw Gentlemen of Production, when I saw Media Circus, when I saw I didn't see a lot of people dancing like this.
Yeah.
And a movement. When I saw the Playboys, I didn't see people dancing exactly like that. When I saw, you know, everybody had their own thing.
Right.
And the flavor, it takes a while for me to see it. Like in the beginning, not in the beginning, but in the 80s, I had no interest in strutting at all.
Right.
That we didn't do that in Berkeley.
Yeah.
But we go to San Francisco, and people are doing like Fillmore, more the strutting like that I consider more the demons, more the Lonnie stuff, more the the Dana stuff, the A plus, all the gentlemen, the stuff that they're doing, the whole Fillmore section, Harry Berry, all the people.
Yeah.
These are my dear friends, but I wasn't trying to dance like that.
Yeah.
Till that I come back to Sweden, that I see somebody like yourself and Rashad that's paying tribute to these styles and honoring these things, and it's like, damn, I missed that. Like, it's like, oh my God, the fact, because it's my great associations that I have, my good time, my glory days,
Yeah.
styles,
Yeah.
and it makes a very positive thing for me. But at the time, I wasn't trying to do that because it took me time to appreciate it.
Yeah.
That same time is the time it takes for anybody being different, for people to finally get, okay. I remember the first time I heard Q-Tip's voice, didn't like it.
Uh-huh.
Like him. Then when I heard the rest of the Tribe stuff, then it took me a while to get used to it. The first time I heard Kendrick, I'm like, it didn't really sound like rap. Took me a while, I acclimated, and then I get it. And then, after I learned to love him for him, then I hear other people sounding like Kendrick. Like Kendrick has a very...
Yeah, there's a lot of people now. Yeah.
Same thing with Be Real, Cypress Hill. Same thing with a lot of rap. And now I hear, like, even within the trap scene, like I hear Future, I hear Designer, I hear like a lot of people sounding like, I hear people sounding like Drake, I hear people sounding like J. Cole. I hear a lot of people sounding the same, and this is it's the equivalent of, I've even told you this before. It's like when you see a Michael Jackson impersonator, he could be very, very good at impersonating Michael Jackson. But I don't care how good you are at impersonating Michael Jackson if you've actually seen Michael Jackson.
Right.
You're not Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
How good you are at impersonating Michael Jackson. This thing is how I feel about dancers. It's how I feel about music. It's how it's very closely related.